Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever faced a moment in life when everything seemed impossible? When the weight of the world felt heavier than you could bear? Maybe you felt lost, unsure, defeated. But what if I told you that the very things that hold us back, the obstacles that seem impossible to overcome, are the stepping stones to the greatest version of ourselves? What if I told you that the key to unlocking your fullest potential is buried within your struggles, your pain, your fears? I want to share with you today how the deepest challenges can be the source of our greatest strengths. By the end of this talk, you'll understand how resilience, gratitude, and purpose can redefine your life. I invite you to stay with me and discover how to not only survive, but thrive no matter what life throws your way. Life often presents us with obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. Whether it's a physical limitation, emotional pain, or an external circumstance beyond our control, it's easy to feel trapped by these challenges. But here's the truth, your limitations are not what define you. How you respond to those limitations is what shapes your destiny. The first step in overcoming any obstacle is realizing that limitations are often just a perception, a belief about what we can and can't do. Society teaches us to believe that we are defined by what we lack, but that is far from the reality. Our true strength lies in our ability to transform the very things that hold us back into the stepping stones that push us forward. The greatest individuals in history didn't achieve greatness because they didn't have challenges. They achieved it because they refused to let those challenges stop them. Consider the many stories of people who have achieved incredible feats despite physical or mental challenges. Some were born with disabilities, while others faced traumatic experiences or extreme adversity. Yet, it is their response to their situations, not the situations themselves, that made them extraordinary. These individuals didn't allow themselves to be defined by what they couldn't do. Instead, they focused on what they could. They understood that the power to overcome was not in avoiding hardship, but in facing it head on with the belief that they could find a way forward, no matter how difficult it seemed. The first lesson here is that we are all capable of so much more than we realize. The key is in how we view our challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as walls, we can choose to see them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge holds a lesson. Every difficulty carries the potential to make us stronger, more compassionate, more creative, and more resilient. Imagine for a moment that you are in the midst of an overwhelming situation. You feel defeated, like giving up is the only option. But then you choose to pause and reflect. You ask yourself, what can I learn from this? In that moment, you shift from being a victim of circumstance to being an active participant in your own growth. This shift in perspective can be transformative. It allows you to take control of your narrative instead of letting your challenges write it for you. It's not easy, of course. It's hard to see beyond the pain or frustration that a particular situation brings. But that's where resilience comes in. The ability to keep moving forward, even when it feels like progress is impossible, is what leads to growth and eventual success. You don't need to have all the answers or a clear path ahead. What matters most is that you choose to take the next step, no matter how small, and keep going. Your limitations may feel like they are holding you back, but they can actually propel you forward if you let them. Overcoming limitations is about seeing possibility where others see only obstacles. It's about taking what life hands you and deciding that you are not going to let it determine your future. Instead, you take charge of your destiny and choose to create a life that is rich with meaning, purpose, and accomplishment. The world is full of examples of people who have done just that. And you too have the strength within you to transform your own limitations into your greatest strengths. The key is not to focus on what you can't do, but to discover what you can. And once you do, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Each day presents us with a new opportunity to find meaning, to grow, and to contribute to something greater than ourselves. But many of us go through life without a clear sense of purpose, merely drifting from one task to the next, wondering what it's all for. We become so caught up in the routine of life that we forget to ask ourselves, why am I doing this? What is the greater purpose behind my actions? Without purpose, life can feel directionless, even mundane. But when we have a clear sense of purpose, suddenly everything changes. We wake up with a reason to rise, with a vision that propels us forward. We are motivated by something beyond ourselves. Purpose is what gives us the strength to keep going when the going gets tough. It's the force that keeps us focused, even in the midst of chaos. When we know why we are doing something, when we believe in the value of our efforts, we find the resilience to push through adversity. Life can be incredibly challenging, and often it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on us. But if we have a purpose, if we have something that we are passionate about, we are able to endure and even thrive in the most difficult circumstances. Finding purpose is not always easy. In fact, it can sometimes feel elusive, but the journey of discovery is one of the most important things we can do for ourselves. Purpose doesn't have to be something grand or monumental. It doesn't need to change the world or solve all of society's problems. Purpose can simply be about finding meaning in the everyday, about understanding that our actions, no matter how small, matter. It can be about showing up for the people we love, helping others in need, or doing work that brings us fulfillment. When we realize that everything we do contributes to a larger picture, we begin to see life differently. The process of discovering your purpose is not about seeking approval from others or comparing yourself to someone else's journey. It's about tuning into your own heart, listening to what brings you joy, and recognizing what you are uniquely equipped to offer the world. It's about aligning your actions with your values and understanding that every step you take is an opportunity to live in a way that is meaningful to you. When we live with purpose, we stop viewing life as something that happens to us. Instead, we start to see it as something we actively shape. Purpose gives us the courage to take risks, to embrace challenges, and to push ourselves further than we thought possible. It's what drives us to go above and beyond, to stretch our limits and to pursue our dreams with relentless determination. Purpose also creates a ripple effect. When we live with purpose, it inspires others to do the same. Our sense of direction can light a path for someone else who is searching for their own. By living intentionally, we show others that it's possible to live with meaning, to create a life that is not only for ourselves, but for the greater good of those around us. This is why purpose is so powerful. It's not just about personal growth, it's about inspiring growth in others. So don't underestimate the power of living with purpose, whether it's in your career, your relationships, or in your personal journey. Having purpose gives your life depth and significance. It reminds you that you have a reason to keep going, no matter how hard the road may seem. It transforms the way you see the world and your place in it. And when you live with purpose, you realize that every moment is an opportunity to make a difference, to grow, and to live a life that truly matters. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It's easy to get caught up in the things that aren't going right, to focus on the gaps in our lives or the struggles we face. But when we choose gratitude, we change the entire course of our lives. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you or counting our blessings. It's a mindset that shifts the way we perceive everything around us. It's the practice of focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, and recognizing the beauty and potential in even the most difficult situations. When we choose to embrace gratitude, we start to see things differently. Instead of being consumed by frustration or disappointment, we begin to notice the small blessings that surround us every day. Gratitude opens our eyes to the good in our lives, no matter how small it may seem. It helps us find joy in the simplest moments: a smile from a friend, a kind word from a stranger, the beauty of nature, or a quiet moment of peace. These things, often overlooked in the rush of life, are actually some of the most precious. But gratitude is not just a response to life's positive moments. It's also a response to life's challenges. In the midst of hardship, gratitude may seem impossible to feel, but it is in those moments that it becomes most transformative. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to focus on what went wrong. But by choosing to look for the lessons in every struggle, we start to understand that our challenges often carry hidden blessings. They teach us resilience, patience, and wisdom. They force us to grow and push us beyond our comfort zones. By recognizing the value in these experiences, we can cultivate a sense of gratitude even when life is hard. Choosing gratitude is also about embracing the present moment. We live in a world that's constantly focused on what's next, the next goal, the next achievement, the next milestone. But when we are constantly looking forward, we miss the beauty of what is happening right now. Gratitude pulls us into the present, allowing us to fully appreciate the moment we're in, rather than always chasing the next thing. It helps us savor the journey, not just the destination. One of the most profound effects of gratitude is how it impacts our relationships. When we are grateful for the people in our lives, we not only deepen our connection with them, but we also inspire them to be grateful as well. Gratitude is contagious. When we express our appreciation, when we take the time to acknowledge others and let them know they are valued, we create a culture of positivity and love. This doesn't just make us feel good, it strengthens the bonds we share with others and builds a sense of community and trust. Living with gratitude doesn't mean ignoring life's difficulties. It doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect when it's not. Rather, it's about choosing to focus on the positive no matter what's going on. It's about training our minds to look for the good in every situation, to appreciate what we have, and to approach life with a heart full of thankfulness. When we do this, we begin to experience a profound shift in our lives. We find greater peace, contentment, and joy, no matter what challenges we face. Gratitude is also a powerful tool for mental and emotional health. Research has shown that practicing gratitude can reduce stress, improve sleep, and enhance overall well-being. By choosing gratitude, we give ourselves the gift of perspective, a perspective that allows us to see our challenges in a new light and recognize the countless blessings that surround us. It's a reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is always something to be thankful for. Gratitude has the power to change our outlook on life and transform the way we experience the world around us. Resilience is one of the most important qualities we can develop as human beings. It's not about avoiding hardships or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Resilience is about how we respond when life throws us off course. It's the ability to rise again after we've been knocked down, to keep moving forward even when the road is rough and uncertain. Resilience is what allows us to weather storms, to grow stronger in the face of adversity, and to continue fighting for the life we want even when the odds seem insurmountable. Life will inevitably test us. We will face moments of pain, disappointment, and loss, whether it's the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, a health crisis, or a career setback. These moments can feel crushing, leaving us wondering if we can ever recover. But resilience is what keeps us going. It's the inner strength that pushes us to get up after we've fallen, to keep fighting when everything seems impossible, and to keep believing that better days are ahead, even when we can't see the way forward. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is that it's not a fixed trait. It's not something that only certain people are born with. It's something that we can all cultivate over time. Resilience is built through experience, through facing and overcoming challenges, and through learning from each setback. Each time we encounter a difficulty and choose to keep moving forward, we grow stronger. Resilience doesn't mean we don't feel pain or frustration. It simply means that we don't let those feelings control us. Instead of letting adversity break us, we let it shape us, teach us, and mold us into better versions of ourselves. The process of becoming resilient begins with a shift in mindset. It requires us to stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance and start seeing ourselves as active participants in our own stories. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? We ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this challenge? This mindset shift is not always easy, especially when we're in the midst of a difficult time. But the moment we decide to take control of how we respond to adversity, we gain power over our circumstances. We move from feeling helpless to feeling empowered. Resilience also comes from the support of others. While it's important to build our own inner strength, we don't have to do it alone. One of the greatest sources of resilience is the people we surround ourselves with. Whether it's family, friends, mentors, or a community, the encouragement and support of others can make all the difference in our ability to keep going. Resilience doesn't mean doing everything on our own. It means knowing when to lean on others, when to ask for help, and when to allow ourselves to be supported. The people who lift us up when we're struggling are often the ones who help us rediscover our own strength. Moreover, resilience involves an unwavering belief in the possibility of recovery and growth. It's about knowing that even in our darkest moments, there is always a way forward. This belief doesn't mean that the pain will go away overnight or that everything will instantly get better. But it does mean that we trust in our ability to navigate through the storm. We know that in time the pain will lessen, the road will get easier, and we will emerge stronger and wiser. The beauty of resilience is that it is not only about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward. Every challenge we face presents an opportunity to become better, to learn, and to evolve. It's not about returning to the way we were before the hardship, it's about using the experience to propel us into a better future. Resilience transforms us, helping us become more patient, more empathetic, and more prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. It is a constant cycle of growth, strength, and renewal. And the more resilient we become, the more we realize that no challenge is insurmountable and that we have within us the strength to overcome whatever comes our way. Self-acceptance and self-love are fundamental components of living a fulfilling and peaceful life. For many of us, the journey towards self-acceptance is not an easy one. We are constantly bombarded by societal standards, external expectations, and internal doubts that make it difficult to love ourselves fully. We compare ourselves to others, focus on our perceived flaws, and often feel like we are never enough. But the truth is, self-acceptance is the key to unlocking our true potential and living authentically. When we accept ourselves fully imperfections, and all we begin to create the foundation for lasting happiness and inner peace. Self-acceptance is about recognizing who we truly are, beyond the judgments we impose on ourselves. It means understanding that we are not perfect, but that we are whole and worthy just as we are. We all have strengths and weaknesses, successes and failures, but none of these define our value as human beings. When we accept ourselves, we embrace the idea that we don't have to conform to anyone else's standards. We are allowed to be unique, to make mistakes, and to grow at our own pace. Self-acceptance is not about settling for mediocrity, but about recognizing that we are valuable no matter where we are on our journey. Self-love takes self-acceptance a step further. It is about caring for ourselves in a way that nurtures our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. It's about treating ourselves with the same kindness, compassion, and understanding that we extend to others. Often we are quick to forgive others for their mistakes, but we are harsh and critical toward ourselves. Learning to love ourselves means breaking free from this cycle of self-criticism and replacing it with self-compassion. It means choosing to treat ourselves with respect, understanding that we are deserving of the same love and care we offer to those around us. A powerful aspect of self-love is the ability to be kind to ourselves in moments of struggle. Life is full of challenges, and there will inevitably be times when we feel like we are falling short. But when we love ourselves, we don't allow these moments to define us. Instead, we approach them with gentleness and understanding. We acknowledge that it's okay to have difficult moments and that these moments do not diminish our worth. Self-love means giving ourselves permission to be human, to experience our emotions without judgment, and to recognize that we are enough even in our imperfections. Building self-acceptance and self-love requires a shift in mindset. It starts with changing the narrative we tell ourselves. We often internalize negative beliefs about who we are based on past experiences or the opinions of others. But those beliefs do not define our truth. Self-acceptance is about letting go of these limiting beliefs and choosing to believe in our inherent worth. We need to remind ourselves regularly that we are worthy of love, respect, and kindness simply because we exist. It's a practice, and like any practice, it takes time and patience. The more we reinforce positive self-talk and engage in activities that nurture our well-being, the stronger our sense of self-acceptance and self-love will become. When we learn to love ourselves, we also open the door to healthier relationships. We cannot give to others what we do not have within ourselves. By loving and accepting ourselves, we create a space where we can give love freely without seeking validation or approval. Our relationships become more authentic as we no longer rely on others to complete us or validate our worth. Instead, we share our love with others as an expression of who we are, not as a means to fill an emotional void. Self-acceptance and self-love are also powerful tools for personal growth. When we accept ourselves, we are free to be ourselves without fear of judgment or failure. We are more willing to take risks, pursue our passions, and follow our own path, knowing that we have nothing to prove to anyone else. We stop seeking approval from external sources and instead look inward, trusting in our own abilities and intuition. As we grow in self-love, we begin to let go of the need to compare ourselves to others. We recognize that everyone's journey is unique and our worth is not dependent on how we measure up to others. Ultimately, self-acceptance and self-love create a sense of peace and contentment that no external achievement can provide. When we love ourselves, we no longer seek validation from external sources because we have already validated ourselves. We embrace our flaws, celebrate our strengths, and honor our unique path. This sense of self-assurance allows us to live authentically, make choices that align with our values, and pursue a life that is true to who we are. Through self-acceptance and self-love, we unlock our full potential and create a life that is grounded in authenticity, peace, and deep fulfillment. There is a profound power in helping others, not just in terms of offering support, but in the transformative impact it has on our own lives. When we extend ourselves to others, we often discover that the act of giving enriches our own experiences in ways we never expected. Helping others doesn't just change the lives of those we assist, it also changes us. It brings a deeper sense of meaning and purpose, and it connects us to something greater than ourselves. The more we give, the more we find that our lives are filled with joy, fulfillment, and a sense of interconnectedness with the world around us. One of the most beautiful aspects of helping others is that it breaks down the barriers of isolation and self-centeredness. In a world that often promotes individualism and competition, helping others reminds us that we are not alone. It fosters a sense of community and belonging, creating a bond between us and those we serve. When we step outside of our own concerns and direct our energy toward others, we expand our own understanding of the world. We become more compassionate, more empathetic, and more aware of the struggles and joys of those around us. Helping others also offers us a perspective shift. Often when we are facing difficulties in our own lives, it's easy to become consumed by our own problems. We can get caught in a cycle of frustration, self-doubt, or worry. But when we step into someone else's shoes and offer our support, we are reminded that we are capable of making a positive difference. It shifts our focus away from what we lack and toward the abundance we can offer. Even small acts of kindness, a listening ear, a kind word, a helping hand have a ripple effect. They not only impact the person we help, but they also remind us of our own ability to contribute, to create change, and to bring light into someone's life. In addition, helping others nurtures a sense of gratitude in our own hearts. It's easy to overlook our own blessings when we're caught up in our own struggles, but when we reach out to help someone else, we often come to realize how much we have to be thankful for. Helping others brings us into a space of humility and gratitude as we see firsthand how our actions can make a difference. This in turn can lead to a more positive outlook on our own lives and a deeper appreciation for the things we often take for granted. When we help others, we also grow in resilience. Life can be tough, and there are times when it feels like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. But through helping others, we learn that even in our own hardships, we have the capacity to lift someone else up. This ability to give in the midst of our own struggles teaches us strength and perseverance. It shows us that we don't have to be perfect or have it all together in order to make a difference. Sometimes the very act of helping others is what helps us heal, giving us a sense of purpose and perspective that helps us move forward in our own lives. Furthermore, helping others fosters a deep sense of connection. We are social creatures, and our well-being is deeply intertwined with the relationships we form. When we offer help, we build trust, create bonds, and develop a sense of shared humanity. These connections can lead to lasting friendships, deeper relationships, and a stronger support network. As we help others, we are not just offering a service, we are offering ourselves. We are offering ourselves. We are sharing our time, our energy, and our love, which are some of the most valuable gifts we can give. There's also an element of personal growth that comes from helping others. It challenges us to step outside of our comfort zones, to think beyond our own immediate needs, and to consider the larger picture. When we offer help, we learn patience, understanding, and compassion. We develop new skills and insights, and we often find that we are capable of more than we initially thought. Helping others expands our horizons, broadens our perspectives, and encourages us to grow into better, more compassionate individuals. Ultimately, helping others is an investment in our own well-being. It creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment that no material possession or external achievement can provide. It reminds us that our lives have meaning, that we are part of something larger than ourselves, and that our actions can leave a positive impact on the world. Whether it's through small acts of kindness or more significant gestures of support, helping others is one of the most powerful ways we can enrich our own lives while making the world a better place. The more we give, the more we find that we have to be grateful for, and in the end, we realize that helping others is one of the most rewarding things we can do, not only for them, but for ourselves as well.